Crossroads. Each week, Chevrolet presents a true story based on the actual experiences of American clergymen, pastor, priest, or rabbi. The men who take part in the everyday drama of people at the crossroads of life. These exciting true stories have been selected by our board of advisors. Captain Maurice M. Witherspoon, Father George B. Ford, and Dr. William F. Rosenblum.
And now for our story. (1886). A nation was moving westward, and into the Dakotas came the strongest and the most daring. The war drums of the Blackfeet and Sioux were quiet, but there was still the land. It was a land for men of courage, such as Reverend William Hyde.
You come west to fight Indians?
Nothing much worse than Indians.
Where's your fighting gear?
Here.
A Bible? You a preacher, man?
I plan to start a Methodist church in Groton. I'm William Hyde.
Bert Ulam. I've got a little ranch just outside of Groton. Let me pass a little hunch along to you. I truthfully can't see much of a future for a preacher out there.
Oh, and I'll make my own future.
Maybe you will at that. This country is tough, Brother Hyde. And the people are just as tough, or they're dead.
You make it sound dangerous.
Just living out here is dangerous. You have to cut your shelter right out of the sod. And believe me, when those northers start blowing that ice and snow across the plains, then you dig or die, Brother Hyde.
Charmed, Reverend Hyde. We certainly need churches in Groton. Of course, I won't be able to attend services for a spell, my husband being away. With the farm and the children, I just haven't much time to give to my social obligations.
Then I'll bring the services to you, Mrs. Quiggs.
To the farm?
Yes.
Oh, no, no. Well, it's not fixed up very nicely yet.
I won't mind, and I'm sure God will understand.
Oh, by the way, how's Delcy? I brought something for her.
Well, the same, I guess. Quiet, always smiling at nothing. Strange child. She's not quite right, I guess.
I made it for her.
Dulcie doesn't need your charity, thank you.
I only meant...
If she wants a doll, I'll buy her one. A nice, fancy one. Good day, Reverend.
Well, can you tie that?
No, right. Why, Delsie's the sweetest kid in the Dakotas. All she needs is some love and...
Easy, Molly. I think it best we go home. You should have brought the Grays.
Oh, those wild devils. I wouldn't get in the same pasture with them.
Reverend, you ought to talk to Axel Johnson. Besides owning a lot of the town, he owns this store and does some doctoring, too. He can help you get located, if he will.
Then I'll see that he will. Thanks.
Don't know about his preaching, but there's nothing wrong with his nerve.
Reverend, huh? Well, I'm sorry you come.
I didn't come, Mr. Johnson.
Huh?
I was sent. Anyone can come, but I was commissioned here.
Oh, I see. Well, it's a pretty rough town yet, busting out all over with growing pains. You figuring on building a church?
Well, I have no money for that. I'll have to rent a place temporarily.
Then you're out of business already, Reverend Hyde.
Why?
There isn't any place to rent. There isn't a store or a shack, not even an empty barn in the whole town. Growing pains.
I'll find some place.
You won't?
Then I'll preach in the street. I have work to do here, Mr. Johnson, and I'm going to do it, with or without your help.
Reverend, there's one place you might rent for Sundays, but you won't like it.
If I can hold services there, I'll like it.
Across the street, 2 doors down, ask for Dooley.
Thank you. I'm going to turn this saloon into a church.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
You can't turn a saloon into a church.
God can.
Not here.
Here.
No.
Yes.
No. Look, Reverend, My place is closed on Sunday, sure, but Axel knows that I wouldn't rent this place for no church. He was
Just testing, I know. Mr. Dooley, I need a church, and if you won't rent to me, well, I'll just have to preach outside. Right outside.
Oh, no.
And every day.
No, you wouldn't do... But I believe that you would. All right, Reverend, you win.
Bless you, Mr. Dooley.
But you know something? I've been on this frontier for 30 years. I'm still carrying lead from 10 gunfights and scars from at least a dozen more, and this is the first time that I was ever backed down and by a preacher. Now go on, get out of here. I got work to do.
Thank you, Mr. Dooley.
This man feel like drinking his own booze.
Well, did I pass the test?
Yes, but I'll wait to see how you meet the big one, Reverend.
Big one.
Yeah, there's always one big test when a man is starting. You'll know it when it comes. And the way you meet it decides things. But so far, so good, and these people can use some religion.
Including you, Mr. Johnson.
What?
And I'll need someone to lead the singing.
Singing? Me? Oh, you won't see me making such a fool of myself. Oh, no. Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, early in the morning our sun shall rise to thee. Holy, 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 merciful and mighty, God in three persons, blessed Trinity.
All right, you sinners, listen to me. I'm the devil's man, and I'm running this here meeting. Now, let's sing a happy song.
Brother, put that gun down. This is God's house.
This is a saloon. And I got a hankering for some saloon singing. Hey, you, Johnson, you lead it off. Make it good and loud, because I want to hear some bellering.
No, we'll...
Shut up, preacher. I'll tell you what. Johnson will lead the singing. And you'll do a little dance for it. Start dancing.
Court. You best play somewhere else.
Stay out of this, Bert.
Camp. I came in here for some preaching. I don't cotton to mix it with dancing and shooting.
Don't press me, Bert.
I'm warning. Go ahead with your sermon, Reverend. I'll be back in time for the hellfire and brimstone. Should you open the door, please?
This is my first day as your minister. Our first day together with God, who deserves our complete attention. And I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Paul said that when he was beaten and despised for his beliefs. As Christians here, can we all say the same? Are you afraid of the scoffer's ridicule? Or are you willing to stand up and fight? God needs help, your help. But you can't worship him in secret, my brothers and sisters. You must be willing to take the gospel with you into your work and into your homes. Do it proudly, so you can say, as Paul said, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ.
Well, I think my back is broken.
Well, it'll only be once a week.
Once, say, maybe you better have a church where the furniture stays put.
Yeah, but there isn't any place.
Well, I'll find one. I have to in self-defense.
Thank you, Brother Johnson. I had faith that you could.
Maybe you better call me Axel. I figure I'll be seeing a lot of you.
Excuse me, please.
Oh, Molly, that husband of yours seems to be taking plenty of time to bring the rig around.
Oh, the Greys are probably giving him trouble.
Those Greys are always acting up, but they're too wild.
Oh, not for my Bert. Why, he can hand...
Miss Ewell, you best come down to the stable. Bert's had an accident. The harness is busted, and them horses they just took
I better go and get my bag.
No rush, Axel. The buckboard flipped over on him, and, well, he just ain't got no use for a doctor.
And so we question not thy holy wisdom, but commend Bert into thy heavenly care. We pray, dear Lord, that thou wilt give us the understanding to accept our loss, the courage to overcome our tragedy, and the faith to continue our lives in thy holy service. Amen.
Be brave, Molly.
Bert, now there was a man to ride the river with. Molly, he was... Reverend?
Molly, let me take you home.
No. You and your talk of God. Well, I hate God, do you hear?
Molly, you don't...
I hate him. He took my Bert. Did he care how much I needed him? How it tears the heart and soul out of me just to sit in that sod shack alone. God couldn't even wait till we'd had a baby.
Molly, God didn't take Bert.
Oh, didn't he? Who did then? The devil? Oh, no. Bert was too good a man for the devil, and you know it. Only God would want a man like Bert.
That's true, Molly. And Bert was as much value on earth as he is in heaven. Maybe even more.
Then why didn't he leave him here?
Molly, Bert loved wild horses, like his Greys, and he handled them well. But he had a harness that was faulty. The horses reared and it broke. Do you hold that against God?
You hold it against Bert?
No, I don't. The harness was weak, and Bert didn't know it. It was an accident.
Other people have accidents and they don't die. Why, Bert?
Molly, death is a part of life. The Lord doesn't promise us protection from every hazard, but he does try to help us over hazards like this, tragedies, and he can help you. Oh, try and understand.
I understand one thing. Bert's gone. There's nothing left of him. Nothing except memories that will curse me as long as I live. If God has any decency, that won't be long.
Molly, wait. At least take this Bible.
I don't want it. And I don't want to see you again. Ever.
Well, I don't have to ask.
No, Molly wouldn't even let me in the house. I tell you, I'm licked, Axel.
When are you leaving?
Leaving? But it's only Molly that's got me beaten. I'm not...
Reverend, do you remember the story about the shepherd and the lost sheep?
Of course, but...
It wasn't taking care of those good sheep in the fold that made him a good shepherd. It was saving the one that strayed away.
Right to the mark, Axel. This is the big test, huh?
Isn't it?
Yes. And I won't fail. I'll find the answer somehow.
Make it soon. Molly's all locked up with hate and bitterness. She isn't seeing anyone, probably not eating very much and not caring. And when a person stops trying to live, they die. It's only a matter of a little time.
When the townspeople didn't come to him, Reverend Hyde went to them.
Go ahead, Mark. Fetch the other kids and tell them the Reverend's here to hold services. Hurry up now. Oh, that's just Delsey.
Hello, Delsey. I'm Reverend Hyde.
Well, speak to him, Delsey. Speak to him, I said.
Oh, it's all right, Miss Quiggs.
No, it's not all right. She's getting old enough to help, and all she does is just sit around with that silly doll. Now she hasn't even got the manners to say...
This child is ill, Mrs. Quigg. She's burning up with fever.
Well, if she's sick, it's not my fault. What with Mr. Quigg's off looking for work and me having to look after the farm and take after 6 kids, I haven't got any
Quigg,
time to...
this isn't a question of fault. This child is ill and she needs a doctor.
Doctor? Well, where would I get the money for a doctor?
I'll get one.
Don't go. Please stay with me.
Don't worry, Delcy. I'll be right back.
Well, what about your tea? And what about the services? The kids are getting hungry.
They can wait. You keep this room clear until I'm finished.
Well, you finish quick then. I haven't any time to go pampering Delcy.
Get out.
What? I'll have you know this is my house. 'Twas him asked you to come here, not me.
Out!
I love you. It's Delcy. She's pretty. You love Delcy?
Yes, Delcy, I love you.
No, you don't. You don't.
Fever's rising fast.
Can't we do anything?
Can you make her want to live? If she wants to live, she can lick this fever. If not, she may be gone by morning. You heard it. She's starved for love. Starved for her mother's love. That's what she's really dying of. Malnutrition of the heart.
Like Molly Eulum. They both need.
All right, I've had enough. You think because I'm a genteel lady, you can come in here and push me around. Well, you're wrong. Now I'm telling you, get out.
Mrs. Quigg.
You two being a preacher doesn't worry me. And this Greener isn't one bit religious.
Mrs. Quiggs, pull her down. We'll go. I'll take Delcy with us.
Delcy stays right here.
But the girl is sick. She needs her.
Bah, it's nothing but a bellyache or something. No more talk. This Greener's got 18 buckshot in each barrel, and I'm pulling triggers in 5 seconds.
Come on, River.
And don't you come back either. I'm choosy about my gentlemen callers.
Women and shotguns scare me anytime, but this woman has a spring loose somewhere.
We can't leave Delcy there.
Mrs. Quiggs has a gun and 36 buckshot. They say we have to.
But she'll die.
I know it, but I don't know what to do.
Axel, what if we could give Delcy a mother's love? You said it might help to break her fever.
You can't fool a child. Delcy would know it was a fake.
It wouldn't be a fake with Molly Eulum. She needs Delcy and Delcy needs her. It has to be God's answer.
And Mrs. Quiggs' answer would be no.
So I won't ask her.
Reverend, if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, I think you're crazy. But I'm with you, 100%.
Good. She's alone for a moment. Do you think you can distract her, get her into the back room for a minute?
Well, I can try.
Try hard. In that minute, I'll try to sneak Delcy out and take her away.
Well, you take that Greener shotgun with you, too. She's liable to get a little mad when she finds Delcy gone. And I'm too old and stiff to outrun buckshot. Mrs. Quiggs, I just came back to apologize.
Apologize? Well, I should think you would.
I know you're angry, but I beg you to forgive me like the generous lady you are.
Well?
It was that Reverend Hyde. I never should have listened to him, Mrs. Craigs. Mrs. Craigs, your eyes. How do you feel?
I feel fine.
Oh, no, it couldn't be.
Oh, what couldn't be? What's wrong?
Dilation of the pupils. The first symptoms of... No, I shouldn't frighten you like this. I might be wrong, but I want a closer examination. Mrs. Craigs, you must go in and rest. You must go in and lie down.
Lie
please.
down?
I'm giving you good advice, Mrs. Craigs.
Oh, but I can't.
I'm giving you an examination. Please.
Take her back. She's not mine.
But Molly, Delsie'll die without your care and your love.
Love. I used to love. But that was when I had a heart, Reverend. God took that when he took Bert. Now all I've got left is a big empty spot full of nothing. So get her out of here. Take her back where she belongs.
She belongs here with you, Molly. You're the only one that can make her want to live. All right, I'll take her back. Only let her rest for a moment. I'll wait outside. I know you'd prefer that. There.
No! Take her now.
She needs a few minutes rest, Molly. If you want her out now, you'll have to put her out.
You think I won't? She's not my child. I don't know her a thing.
I love Delsie. You love Delsie.
Well, she at least hasn't put Delsie out yet. How did Mrs. Quiggs take it?
She fussed a little about having us put in jail, but frankly, I think she's happy to be rid of the whole responsibility.
Well, don't blame her too much, Axel. She's carrying a heavy burden.
Yes, I know. If her husband doesn't come back, and he won't, I think she'll be glad to let Molly adopt Delsie for good.
Isn't there anything else you can do?
No, not until this fever crisis is over. If Molly can keep her alive through this, everything will be all right. Well, we'll know in a couple of hours. Until then, all we can do is wait.
No. There's one other thing we can do. It's nearly dawn.
It's past time, Reverend. I'm afraid.
She's sleeping. Reverend Hyde. I was horrible. I cursed him and denied him. Oh, Reverend, I turned my back on him.
Peter denied Jesus, but when he repented, God forgave him. But I think you've earned more than just forgiveness tonight, Molly. God has a special place in his heart for those who take care of his children.
It's been a great test, Marley. And you met it fine. Well, Reverend, come on, let's go. It's been a long night. I'll see you tomorrow, Molly. The big test is over. You'll do all right here, Reverend.
Thanks, Axel. But it's not over. I have a lot of digging to do yet. I'm just starting.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be fun to watch, too. In fact, I may join up with you permanently. You're a good man to dig with, Reverend Hyde. You sure are.
Stories for Crossroads are selected by our Board of Advisors, Captain Maurice M. Witherspoon, Father George B. Ford, and Dr. William F. Rosenblum.